Buckle up, it's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
If you were giving one piece of advice to somebody coming into this, and especially learning everything that you've learned from being a sales agent working for another agent into owning your own agency, what would be like the number one piece of advice you give someone in that situation?
What I've said this entire, however long this conversation has been, be positive, think you can do it, and go do it. And when it doesn't work, stand up and try again. Just don't stop.
Love it.
Don't complain.
Yep.
Just go do it and learn from your mistakes, because ultimately you're your own boss. You get to decide what you want to do, not anybody else. So own your mistakes and celebrate your wins, and then go do it again.
Awesome.
Somebody coming into the industry, they are totally lost looking at marketing. What do you think are the best fundamentals to apply?
Keep score. Figure out. I mean, it's a numbers game. I've only been in sales and insurance, but the way I've talked to a bunch of people in sales is it's all a numbers game, right? Mm-hmm. Sales is a numbers game. So figure out what you need to keep score of and work backwards. I mean, you say it in the elite calls all the time, right? Say, I want to get to 250. So what do I got to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even today, you said, 12,000 dials. How the hell am I going to get that? And then you say, oh, well, I guess I can't do it. And then you just move on. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Just go figure it out. Okay.
Right.
I want to do this. That means I have to do this. Mm-hmm. And that means I have to do this. Right. So just take it one step at a time. Mm-hmm. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Right.
So figure out the bites.
Yeah. I'm hearing pick the thing that you know that you can track, right? Because you could go spend $10,000 on marketing and get a billboard. Well,
right.
What do that's nice.
Right.
When I see somebody up on the billboard, I'm just thinking, well, they spent a lot of money and I don't know how they're going to track and measure that. Where's the ROI on that?
How did you hear about my agency? Oh, I saw you on Broadway and 6th.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I drove all the way across town. I don't know, so I think it's important. And I mean, when I first started in the business, I bought the shopping cart thing at the store and I was like, it's going to work. And then, no, the only person that called was the sales guy that sold it to me to try to get me to re-up. That was it. So
I think there's an ego part of that too, especially for people that are in captives. It's always about taking that picture for your agency. Your name is up there, buying the beach balls or the all the silly stuff with your name and picture on it. But dude, at the end of the day, none of that stuff matters. You got to start with the minimum viable product, right? What is the minimum thing that you can do to just create that revenue daily? Boom, boom, boom. Right. So that don't go buy pens. I mean, if that's your thing, buy pens. Okay. But make sure that, you're not spending, if you need that revenue coming in right away, spend it appropriately so that you're getting the best return on your investment right away.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, a $30 million agent, you can't do what a $30 million agent can do as a scratch agent. So don't go try to go do that.
Yeah.
Pick one thing, try it. If it doesn't work, move on to something else or try to perfect it. Try to get better at it.
For a while. Yeah.
Yep. It's funny too, because we were talking in the lead call today about scaling. We didn't really get too into that. But it's funny. It is the curve on scaling is funny because the smaller you are, it takes a long time to start to hit the curve. Yeah. Right. But and it seems like, man, I'm just going to be doing this. I just did this for a year and I'm still on this huge upward battle. But it's crazy because it's an exponential curve. So as soon as you start gaining some traction, you can take those dollars and put them back into marketing. All of a sudden you're starting to grow at a rapid rate. You can really start scaling it. And now those little steps that you're taking, that you're grinding out daily, you're learning so much about all the details of that. So now when you replicate that process and as you're growing, you know all the ins and outs of it, and now you can duplicate that and do it well so that you're not wasting that much money. And then the exponential curve of what you can do, especially in insurance, is incredible. It seems so tough those first few years. It seems like at this rate, I mean, I'm not going to build a big agency for 30 years, but the rate, it compounds. The interest compounds every year. You know, it's crazy. And then you look back and you're like, dang.
Dude, I think that the elbow of the exponential curve, right? The elbow is the breaking point. Like when you are at that point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. This is it, where the voices are really going. The fear is there. You're about to lose your mind. That is the point where it turns.
Yeah.
You know, when you're feeling that most pain, all of it, because there's people that eject at that point. And I can tell you the people that eject right there are the ones that just missed it. You know, and the majority of them will. It's so hard to go that last 10% to punch it into the goal line, right? That last yard. How can they run it down the field? No problem. And then they get to the goal line and they can't punch it in the end zone, right? And that's that on that curve. I mean, that's it. That's what it was for me. I was on not in December of 2019 with Jason. Like, dude, I'm gonna lose it. I don't know what to do. You know, and he's like, buy more. I'm like, no. He's like, you're right there. It's gonna happen. And then boom, you know, it was like,
well, they say your first million. So I have a consultant, a commercial consultant here in my district, and he said the first million is your hardest. That's the 100%. The first million is the hardest million you'll get to, and I just hit it on Friday.
There you go.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
That is so awesome. And again, you're exponentially hitting your. I know that you're growing. You're not selling what you're selling 3 months ago. You're selling a lot more. Like you're constantly on that curve. And the reason why we thought it would be so cool to bring you on more than anything is that we know that, you know, during this last year, again, incredibly tough or whatever, but your attitude has been fantastic. You've been constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly pushing, and there's no stopping you at this rate, especially with that mindset. I think that's awesome.
That's what, I'm kind of close to Kristen over there at Jeremy Olson's agency, and that's what she tells me all the time. She says, "Jesus, that David never stops."
Yep, that's awesome, man.
That's the key. I mean, that's what we're here for. My goal is my wife's a teacher, to get her home, like to allow her the opportunity to get home in the next 5 years. That's the goal. If she wants to continue work, God bless her. That's more money for us, right? But if she doesn't have to, then stay home.
Love it.
That's the goal. So the faster we can get her there, the better, in my opinion. And then there's never an end. Just like Craig always says, got to get to 100. Okay, now I got to get to 150. Now I got to get to 200. Soon he's going to be selling $500,000, and he's going to say, okay, got to get to $1 million. $1 million in a month.
Yep. It's true, man. It is addicting, right? It's like climbing that mountain is always the most fun.
Right.
Being at the top of the mountain isn't fun. As soon as you're at the top of the mountain, you set your sights higher because, man, it's always about the journey. If you can enjoy the journey, then the top of the mountain is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know?
Top's lonely too.
Yeah. Is it?
Up there. Yeah, thin air. No, I'm number 2. So
there's no top in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no top. 100%.
Yep.
Every time you get there, you look up, it's like that cartoon where the guy's crawling up and
that's right.
There, and then it's like, you know, so you know, what's the next one? Okay, $500,000. Then the next one's $1 million. Then the next one's $2 million. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
What do you do to constantly keep your positivity going?
I just don't be negative. I know it sounds easy, but that's truly it. I tell my wife all the time, I have no desire to be negative. It doesn't get me anywhere. I don't learn anything by being negative. My wife will never listen to this, so I'm glad that, I can say it, but, my wife, we had, so
we're all safe.
My first coolest birthday was AC/DC on my 12th birthday, but my second coolest birthday was having my first son on my birthday. Woo! That was my second coolest birthday. So actually, that was my first coolest birthday. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Birthday, which is really cool. But my wife we wanted a girl. Like that's what we wanted first. We wanted a girl. And it didn't happen. And when we found out, the day we found out, my wife was not happy. She was sad. She cried. And I said, you know what, babe, it's okay. You get to be sad today. You get to be sad because we wanted a girl, but you don't get to be sad after today.
Oh,
nice.
Look at Coach.
That's how I live life. Own the negativity, own the crap, live in it for a moment and move on.
Right.
And the same with the wins, right? My agency Zoom has been going through my phone here in a second, and my guys just sold like 5 policies while we're talking. Great. We'll celebrate the win, and then we're gonna move on. Go find another one.
Yep. And then it's 0 tomorrow, and let's do it all over.
That's right. So just don't live in it. Just what's the good part? Find the good. Find the good. That's how I stay positive. I haven't
got one in 18 minutes.
What was that?
I haven't got one come through agency Zoom in 18 minutes.
Well, that was where our first
19.
sales in 3 days. So.
Oh. But then it'll come in a big bunch.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I love the self-awareness. I love the even noticing the negativity. You know, there's folks where you can be emotional and not even realize that you're being negative. And you know, that's something I've definitely worked really hard to do. I wish I had it as young as you. Now that I'm 90, I'm finally, you know,
well, don't think I've had it
self-aware.
Forever. I was a negative Nancy for a long time. When I worked in the airlines, I did a job where I was like in charge of the whole operation basically. And all of the departments would be like, if the flight went out late, our department had to blame another department. So the ramp,
because it's not you,
because they didn't put a bag on the airplane. They put a bag on too late. Well, it's your fault. And now they're complaining to me why it was their fault. And it's a giant argument. And so my phone call was, always answer the phone. Ops David, and I don't want to talk to anybody. Right? It's always negative. So I was negative for a very long time, but it just doesn't go anywhere. I don't know. Right. I don't know where I learned it, but it just doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't help.
No.
And when I was in the restaurant business, same thing, man. Everybody's very all out for themselves, and this customer,
And who wants to work for a negative person? Nobody wants to work for you if you're negative.
Yeah.
Not at all. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there's turnover, gotta
probably
look yourself.
You.
Yeah. Gotta look in the mirror. I know for a fact when I had turnover, the man in the mirror.
That's right.
Man in the mirror. Had to do a makeover and grow a mustache. Looks like Jason's trying to grow a mustache over there potentially.
No, I just didn't want to shave.
I talked to your wife and she said that she wants you to grow a mustache.
She hates when I grow a mustache. I used to grow a mustache all the time.
Come on.
You also did you used to grow your hair down to like your butt too?
He had long hair.
Yeah.
It looks pretty similar now.
Yeah, it's gone. Look at this.
I know. That's what I saw today.
Yep. Yeah, I might grow back out. It might be a little shocking for some people. Cool. Well, awesome. David, thank you so much for being on here. I think you dropped some bombs. I love the positivity. Yeah. I think it's a great way to start off this new year. So thank you for coming on, and
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I hope they made it through speedballs and they got this far. You know, sometimes they just or speed breakers, not speedballs. Yeah, what can you do?
Oh
well. Oy vey. All right. We'll see you at the next episode. Bye-bye.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.